Q in Madison has commissioned the original play, Raid, Attack on Stonewall. It starts tonight.
The scene is the Stonewall Inn in New York City on the night of the infamous raid and the resulting week-long riots. Our Michael Bruno goes backstage at the Bartell Theater for a look at Raid, Attack on Stonewall.
Easy now. Get back and let me go.
Stonewall was a bar in Greenwich Village that was mafia owned at the time. For gay clientele, was one of the only places they could go in that part of New York City. It was frequently raided. Police were on the take. We were given to understand. But this night was different. This was when Mayor Lindsay came into New York City. June of 1969, wanted to crack down on these places, wanted to put the gay bars out of business. This was the first night that the patrons fought back, and it's really the beginning, 50 years ago, this summer, of the beginning of the LGBT plus revolution.
Marsha P. Johnson is the character I play. She is a black trans woman. I would say to describe her, she is a huge sweetheart, very strong and also tough. And I would just also say, if you get on her bad side, you might regret it.
Being born here. Ain't enough police in the whole of New York to get me out tonight just to watch. I felt it, Mommy. This is just the beginning.
A lot of people were pushed into the street. The cops were actually the ones who trashed the bar, who broke the jukebox and, turned over all the furniture. And people were out on the street. And there were three specific instances, there's three specific happenstances that people collectively agreed were what started the riot. One was a woman shouting in response to police brutality to the crowd that had developed, "Why won't you guys do something?" There's also the shot glass heard around the world of Martha P. Johnson throwing it at the mirror at the back of the bar and screaming, "I got my civil rights." And then the heat actually is one of the things that was said to be one of the reasons that the riot itself happened. Everybody was uncomfortable. It was sticky and balmy, and the moon was full. Just that general feeling of electricness to the night. And people started to fight back. And the queer community, which had before this had always been peaceful in their protests, got violent and got angry and channeled all of that fear and rage that they'd been experiencing for so long into fighting back. And that was how the riots began.
Michael's here now. It's hard to believe it was 50 years ago.
Yes, indeed. 50 years ago, 1969.
So this is an original production. Melissa was the screenwriter.
Yes,
and is it historically accurate?
It is historically accurate. These are actually events that took place at the Stonewall Inn with the beginning of gay liberation in 1969, and took place at the Stonewall Inn, which is still open today.
And these are all real people.
They're all real characters.
Based on real people.
Well, yes, and some of the actors are composite of certain people that were alive during that period. But some of the actors are actually portrayed as real people that went through the riots in the 60s.
And Stage Q has done a lot of the original productions.
Yes, they have. They've done a lot of original, but this is the first time they've ever commissioned somebody to write something specifically for Stage Q and for the anniversary, the 50th anniversary of Stonewall. So it's kind of a first for them.
Very interesting.
It is Raid, Attack on Stonewall. It's at the Bartell Theater tonight through Saturday, April 27th, just weekends, of course. Yeah. Go to bartelltheater.org. And next week?
Next week, it's Newsies at the Verona Area Community Theater.
Oh, that's a great show.
It's a great show.
It is so good to have you back. Look at how tan you are.
I know.
Did you have a good vacation?
Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the sun. It's nice.
You brought it with you. Yes. That's good.
Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, thank you.
Thanks, Michael. See you next week.
We'll be right back.